Okay. Before we get started with today's session, I just quickly want to explain again what the pre-departure weeks are. So pre-departure weeks are a series of online events and sessions to help you, students who will be joining Utrecht University this fall, feel more prepared before your arrival in Utrecht. So over the past 3 months, we've done sessions on a number of different topics, final steps on fees and enrollment, housing, student life, and more. If you want to watch the recordings of these sessions, check your email for a monthly newsletter that has the links to all the previous sessions. And if you want to join upcoming sessions that we have next month, also keep an eye on your inbox for the sign up link. So let's get started then with today's session, which is on the topic of your arrival guide and the UU Welcome Week. So before I introduce the presenters of the session, I just want to quickly explain what the structure of today's event will be like. So we will start with a short presentation where we will explain what the UU Welcome Week is, all the details, how you can sign up, etc. And after this, we will also have a live Q&A where you can send us questions using the Q&A function in the chat, and we will then pick out some of them and answer them live. During the presentation, we will also keep an eye out on the chat and try to answer as many questions as possible in the chat as well. Keep in mind that this session is specifically about the UU Welcome Week. So if you have questions about other topics, you can contact us via email or watch the recording of our previous sessions or check the website. So try to keep your questions focused on the Welcome Week so we can answer as many of them as possible. So let me hand over then to Ivana.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivana Rusinke. I am part of the UU Welcome Week team, and I will be leading this webinar about the expectations of the UU Welcome Week. For connection purposes, I will turn off my camera at the moment, but I want all of you to see a face of the UU Welcome Week, and I will proceed. So as Ria mentioned, the project leader of the event, Eline, will be answering any question through the chat function. So please make sure you use this function to ask any doubts you might have about the program. So first, I would like to start by talking about what is this big event called the Welcome Week. So this is a 4-day week program that contains activities to help you adapt to the university life in the Netherlands. And during this program, what makes it very special is that you will get a mentor, which is a student volunteer that will be there to help you with your questions, your practical matters, and guide your group during the city tour and the 4-day week program. This is what makes the experience unique and personal, as we're expecting at least 2,000 signups. So here we have a general overview of the program. So in the first day, you will do a city tour where you will get to meet your mentor group, which consists about 20 students from different programs. They will be either from the bachelor's, master's, or exchange program. So they will be in the same phase as you, but from different backgrounds. So this makes the experience interesting because you get to know people outside your program. The second day is focused on the practical matters, which means registration, BSN, and other things. And the week ends with fun activities related to culture and sports. Remember that the events go from Tuesday, the 30th of August to Friday, the 2nd of September. So I'm going to a bit into detail now, which regarding the program. So on Tuesday, the program begins with an opening show. This will take place in Tivoli, which is a very cool venue in Utrecht that probably you have heard of, but you will definitely see it when you arrive to Utrecht. And after this opening show, you will meet your mentor group and go into the city tour. On Wednesday, as I mentioned, you will go to the Get Settled lab, where you can work on arranging practical matters with your mentor and the rest of your group. You will go through a checklist together, and there will be a specialized information desk to ask any remaining questions you might have. After this, we will provide some options to join cool evening activities. On Thursday, it's our Culture Day, so we will host cultural related workshops like dancing classes. And finally, on Friday, we have our Sports Day, where you can join workshops related to many sports like frisbee. And remember that these workshops are organized by student organizations, so they will be introduced. By this, you will be introduced into student life at the UU. And most importantly, in the evening, we close the event with a very nice final dinner. This dinner is meant to close this special week with a festival-like theme where all the mentor will be there, and they will be sharing nice food and drinks. So besides these very nice programs we have been working on for you should join this event because of these three main reasons. One, it provides a comfortable space to meet fellow international students from different programs, not only yours. So this is very special because once you join your program, the most time you will share with people from your program. So in these 4 days, you will get to meet people outside of it. Secondly, you can get to know and discover the beautiful city of Utrecht, and you will also get an insight into the science park as you will attend some workshops that are going to be located there. And finally, we try to provide fun but also focus on practical matters that can help you ease the anxiety about living in a new country such as the Netherlands. Now you're probably wondering what you can do at the moment. So the first step is to sign up, which is free, but you may have noticed that some activities need a ticket. And right now, until the 1st of August, you can profit by buying the early bird ticket, which is an all access ticket. Besides this, you should not worry about anything else right now. Just know that our team will assign you a mentor group and a mentor when August approaches. They will be able to answer your questions and tell you in more detail about the program. To finish up, we really want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the technical issues that had happened with the sign-up link. As today, the payment issues have been solved and you should be able to pay with credit card now. The early bird ticket will be available until the 1st of August, and we don't expect to run out of tickets anytime soon, so you should not worry if you haven't gotten it yet. And please remember, this event is for you. The university wants to support you, so that's why we're organizing this, to help you get settled in Utrecht and start your stay off as smoothly as possible while also having fun and meeting new students. And that's all for now. Eileen will provide the sign-up link in the chat, and please don't hesitate to reach us if you have any other questions, and follow us on Instagram at UU Warm Welcome. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening to us, and we cannot wait to meet you in August.
Thank you, Ivana. I think that gave a good explanation of what the Welcome Week is, why you can join, and some insight into the activities, which look really fun. Let's move then and answer some of the questions that you might have. If you have any questions, as I mentioned, you can put this in the chat, and we will try to answer as many of them as possible. So I will read out some of the questions, and then Elina will help in answering them. So make sure to send us any questions you have, and we will get to them. So the first question I see is about buying the ticket for the UU Welcome Week. So do you need to have a Dutch bank account to pay for the ticket?
So I can answer that shortly. No, you don't. So as Ivana just mentioned, we had some problems with the payment methods, and one of those problems was that it didn't show all available payment methods. So until yesterday, it was only possible to pay from the Netherlands, Germany, or Belgium, which is very annoying because obviously most of you aren't from there, but everything should be resolved by now, and you can also pay with a credit card.
Perfect. Following up about the tickets, could you tell us a bit about what is included in this ticket that you buy?
Yes, definitely. So just to mention again, the week itself is free. But since we wanted to organize some cool activities and there's going to be a lot of participants, we decided that those would require a ticket. And right now it's going to be the evening activities on the Wednesday, which will be a cool variation of different activities. There will be a pub crawl for sure, where you can get a free drink when you have a ticket. And we are also looking into activities like a boat tour, bowling, maybe ping pong. So it'll be a combination of more party-like activities and also more low-key socializing activities. And then the other thing that's included is the final dinner on Friday, which personally I'm really excited about. We have a really cool venue, and it should be, yeah, so it's the final dinner with everyone together. And then the ticket includes food and drinks for that. We are looking into the possibility of adding lunch to the ticket, the early bird ticket, but that would be more of a surprise extra, which is not so surprising anymore now that I told you, but there's a fair chance that we will be able to do that as well.
Great. I think that definitely answered the question. I see some new questions coming in. We're going to get to them. So for everyone else, if you still have questions, put them in the chat. I see a question that says, is this a different program from the orientation? I heard that there will be an orientation on the 29th.
Right. Well, I understand the confusion there. So the name UU Welcome Week is a new one, and we've started using it since this year. So it used to be called the orientation, but that led to quite a bit of confusion. So that's where that comes from. And since we were going to always plan the activities in this week, but we didn't know exactly the starting date. We just wrote from the 29th. But yes, it's not a different program. It's the same, just with a different name. And it does end up starting on Tuesday, just to give you a bit more time to get settled when you arrive here.
Great. Then another question about sort of the target group of the program. Are graduate students also welcome in this program? And then following up to that, is it common for master students to actually end up attending the program as well?
So the program is targeted at master, bachelor, and exchange students. I'm not 100% sure what graduate students mean, because I think that's usually people doing a PhD. And in the Netherlands, you are then seen as an employee and not a student. So I don't think the program will fit very well. And then regarding who actually attends, we see that actually the group that percentage-wise attends most is master students, because this program is focused on getting settled at the university, on the practical things, while also allowing you to meet people. So it's not just a party week, even though there's definitely room for that. But we actually noticed that the attendance from each group is pretty much similar. And I think Ivana mentioned this, but to make sure your experience is indeed relevant and you meet relevant people, we do split up the groups based on the phase that you are in with your studies. So if you are master students, you'll be in a mentor group with only other master students. Same for exchange and bachelor. We mix up the groups based on program and nationality to make sure it's diverse, but based on the phase of study, you are in the same group with other people.
Another question on some practical matters. Is there a sort of a session during the welcome week where there will be information or an event about student jobs and working part-time?
That is something we definitely want to provide information on. So we are looking at adding that to the Get Settled Lab in the information market. We just want to be careful that we don't overwhelm you with all the information from the start. So the Get Settled Lab itself focuses mostly on more like, what do I do right when I arrive? But we definitely aim to provide broader information, or at least introduce you to organizations that can help you find that information.
Then another question about the Welcome Week. Would you say it still makes sense for a student to participate in the UU Welcome Week, the orientation program, and the Uitweek?
Right. Yes. So that's something that I understand is super confusing because there are so many different programs. Just to clarify, in the first week of classes, so I think that's usually from the 5th or the 6th of September, a lot of programs organize a specific orientation for the program. So you might be, you're very likely to have been invited to join that program. That one is different from the Welcome Week because, like Ivana also said, it allows you to meet people from your own program, and it's a lot about more of the practical and academic side of things. So it's definitely useful to join both the Welcome Week and that orientation. I think that the orientation of your program is usually obligatory, like you have to join it. And then with regards to the Uitweek, so the Uitweek is indeed, it's similar to the Welcome Week, but it's targeted at all students that start studying in Utrecht. And one of the main reasons why we organize the Welcome Week is, of course, because there are some specific needs for international students, and because the Uitweek is really quite early. So a lot of international students just haven't arrived yet by then. But if you do arrive by then, and if you would like to get more of the full Dutch experience, so I can imagine that that's interesting if you're going to be here for 2 or 3 years, then you can definitely sign up for it. I think there will be some overlap, but it should still be useful. And I guess it depends a lot on what you like. If you have a big social battery, definitely go to all the events that you can, and it should definitely be worth it. But it's up to you whether it fits your planning and whether it fits the experience that you want from studying here.
Great. I think that answered the question very well. Coming back then to the question about tickets for the Welcome Week. If someone has a normal ticket, can they add an extra one?
Yeah, so you should have received an update about that, because when we had all the problems fixed, we send you an email saying what to do. And I think it's best if you refer back to that one. If you can't find it, send an email to welcomeweek@UU. I'll ask Ivana to provide that email address in the chat. But basically, yes, it's still possible, but it's to make the process as straightforward for us as we can. We ask you to send a specific email to that address. But yeah, you should be able to find the update email about that.
Okay. And then another question about that, a student asked, there's an option to top up balance in order to avoid staying in queues. What would you say is the purpose of that?
Yeah, so that was a little mistake on my part, because I thought that was where the payment issues resolved from. So I opened that option, but we won't actually be using that. So it should be turned off by now. It should no longer be possible to top up your account, because that's an option that the platform offers. But since we won't have a lot of places where you will buy things on us, basically, it doesn't add any value. So you don't have to do that. If you did top up, don't worry, because if you haven't used the money at the end of the event, which you probably won't, it'll just get refunded to you. So you won't have lost any money, but yeah, it's not necessary to do that.
Perfect. Then a couple questions more a bit in detail about the content of the Welcome Week. A student asked when they would receive more details about these events. So, for example, on the Wednesday, Ivana mentioned the academic program. What does that consist of?
Yeah, the academic program is something that is hosted by your faculty, and that's a difficult word, which is means a bit different in English than it does in Dutch, and so that's why we're not bothering you with it too much yet. You'll hear about what it is during that program. And basically, we have identified that the goal of the Welcome Week is one, to help you with practical matters, two, to meet people and have like the social aspect of the week, and three, to be introduced to the academic culture in the Netherlands. And that third goal will be addressed during the academic program. It's just that that program is different for different students because we have, I believe, 6 or 7 faculties, and they all do their own program. But it will mostly be about things like what does the academic year calendar look like? How do I talk to my teachers here in the Netherlands? Where do I go if I have questions about my studying? Things like that. And you will receive more details about all of this probably in the second week of August. I would say for now, don't worry too much about the details because you'll see it when you get there, and a lot of it is does give you the opportunity to just choose which events you want to attend. So that'll become clearer when the week is near. But yeah, we're still working on the program for a big part, so that's why we don't want to give you the details yet. We'll give them as soon as they're available.
Okay. You mentioned, of course, quite some activities where people would be eating as well. We have a question where a student asked, will there be vegan and gluten-free options as well provided?
Definitely. We are very aware of all different dietary restrictions, so we work very hard to make sure that all the options are available, which is usually actually quite easy if you just sit and think about it for a bit. And actually, the policy from the university generally is to provide mostly vegetarian or vegan food. So those options will be there as well. We've noticed that in general, almost half of the students eats vegan or vegetarian. So yes, no worries about that at all. We'll make sure there's plenty of choice.
Great. Then some more questions about specifically what kind of practical matters students will kind of go through with their mentors. So will they get information about, I don't know, social activities, building locations, guidance on public transport, etc.? Could you tell us a bit like overall what can they expect?
Yeah, all of those things. So public transport will definitely be a part of it. Getting a bike, whether you want one, those kinds of things. There's something about finding social activities in Utrecht. And so what we did is we compiled a checklist of items that we think are really important when you just arrive. And you will receive that checklist a bit before the Welcome Week already. But anything that's on there, you should also already have heard about. Like, there's a lot of resources to find about things you have to do. There's these webinars that explain you about pre-arrival. So it's not new information. It's just structured in a different way, and we'll make sure you get it in time.
Perfect. Then maybe a final question for students that, for example, live outside of the city of Utrecht, so in a town like Maarsen, will they be provided with assistance in terms of transportation?
We won't specifically offer that, but we will offer information about public transport and things like that. I think in the previous newsletter, the one where you also got the sign-up link, there was some information about the student mobility card, and I think that one would be really useful for you. I think it links to the company there as well. The company is called Student Mobility, and they're focused a lot on providing you with all the mobility, so public transport, bike, and all of these kinds of information. So maybe Ivana can send the link. I think it's just like studentmobility.nl, but that's a really nice company to look at if you want to prepare your mobility needs.
Great. So yeah, I think indeed if you live in a town outside of the city, you will realize you can very easily, of course, get to the science park, to the city, and to other locations as well. So take a look at the link and just plan how you get there. Okay, we have one more question then about the tickets again. So maybe we can just finish off by going over the entire ticket process. But the question is, a student already got the free ticket, so this just signing up for the week, but now they changed their mind after this presentation, I guess,
Yeah.
and they want to buy a ticket for the social events as well, but they can't seem to find the option to change their ticket. What should they do?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and I think this will happen more often, so we'll put it in the FAQ on our website as well. But basically, the process is the same as was mentioned in the update email. So you have to send us an email saying that you want the social events. But we'll make sure that that information is available on the FAQ on the website. But it's really good to hear that you've changed your mind and that you're interested in joining the social events, because I think they should definitely be worth it.
Okay, to finish off, do you want to quickly mention again what students should do to now get their ticket for the Welcome Week?
Yes, definitely. They should go to the sign-up link that we posted a few times, I think, and there they can make an account and then fill out our questions. We ask you some information like what kind of program you're going to do, and then if they want, they can select the extras and pay for the ticket. So just sign up, then we have your contact details in our system, and we will definitely make sure that you get all the information you need.
Perfect.
And you and all the hopefully 2,000 other students that will sign up.
Perfect. Thank you, Elina. Again, for everyone watching, signing up for the Welcome Week program in general is free. And then, of course, it's up to you if you want to buy the additional ticket and pay for that. So make sure to check the link and sign up. Thank you, Elina and Ivana, for, of course, putting together the Welcome Week and also for taking the time to do this session. Thank you to all of you who joined the session. Hopefully you found it useful, but also it made you a bit more excited to come here to Utrecht and start your studies, starting with this lovely Welcome Week. So thank you again and stay tuned for our upcoming session.